The new report is revealing systemic issues within the Secret Service that could put its current protectees at risk. The Department of Homeland Security's independent review comes after the assassination attempt on former President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. The report says without reforms to the agency, another Butler can and will happen again. That's a quote. Former Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano joins me now for more on this. Secretary Napolitano, thank you for coming on. You worked on this panel for this independent review. And a quote from the report says the Secret Service has become bureaucratic, complacent, and static, even though risks have multiplied and technology has evolved. You used to run this department. How concerning is that? What you're seeing here, and what do you think needs to be done about it, especially as technology keeps evolving?
Well, first of all, the panel was an independent panel. It was a bipartisan panel with other members who also have extensive experience in security and law enforcement matters. And the panel was unanimous in its findings and its recommendations. We looked extensively at what happened at Butler, and it was like pulling off a Band-Aid and then asking the question, why did those mistakes happen? And there were numerous mistakes at Butler, which the report details, from inadequate site planning to equipment that didn't work, to having a communication setup that was not ideal, to say the least. And just checking down through those, we asked ourselves the question, why did those things happen? What led to them? And that's what led to some of the strongest and more systemic recommendations in the report.
Now, the report calls for a change in leadership at the Secret Service. How do you do that with just 18 days now before an election?
Right. We recommend that in searching for new leadership in the department, that they look outside the department itself. The Secret Service has a tradition of elevating agents through the ranks and up to and becoming the director. But that process has led to a certain amount of insularity, and the failure of leadership at the top, we believe, contributed to the events at Butler and is necessary if all of the reforms that we recommend are to be adopted. There needs to be a change, and bringing in some people from the outside would benefit that.
And it seems some of these issues go back in time, far beyond what happened in Butler. Another quote from the report reads, the panel's work has identified a number of specific failures and breakdowns enabling the assassination attempt on July 13th. But it goes on to say that this incident revealed deep flaws, including some that appear to be systemic or cultural. We have an election that's expected to be historically close in just days. Are you worried about the candidate's safety?
You know, the Secret Service has increased greatly the resources that it has dedicated to former President Trump. It's now virtually consistent with the president's detail. Again, we believe some of the detailed recommendations on operations, on having an integrated command center, on integrated communication system, on line of sight planning and specification, on having a clear handoff between those who are at the site before the candidate arrives to the candidate's personal detail when the candidate arrives. Those things can and should be done immediately. Our understanding is that the Secret Service, post July 13, has already made a number of changes. We were not and did not explore what exactly those changes were and whether they, in fact, all were being implemented, but they need to be.
Now, one of the main failures outlined in this report focused on the officers not confronting the shooter after spotting him more than 90 minutes before he opened fire. How does that happen?
Well, read the report. I mean, it is a constellation of errors. Crooks, the shooter, was spotted as being a suspicious person. Then he went in and out of being spotted. Then he was spotted with a rangefinder aimed at the stage. in the meantime, you have all these various communications going on, email, text, whatever, ever, but nobody is able to find him. And until very, very shortly, within seconds of the actual shooting, when a local township police officer went on the roof and Crooks turned around and pointed his gun at him. And then they knew they had him. Unfortunately, he was already in position to take the shot. And in the meantime, while all this searching for Crooks was going on, the actual detail around the former president was not informed.
Incredible on so many levels. The report was eye-opening. Former DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.